Hey, I'm Chase, and this is All Things Random. Today, we are looking at Sovrygn watches. Now, specifically, the watch we are looking at is the white matte rose gold PVD coated calendar. Now, before I get into this, they did send me the watch, but I have to send it back. This is just a prototype, and I will leave a link down below. In no way am I affiliated with them, but I thought I would just leave that disclaimer. Now, let's flip the camera around and let's get right into the review. And here is the watch. Very, very beautiful. This again is the rose gold automatic calendar from Sovrygn watches. Specifically, this has the white textured dial. Now, let's just go ahead and get into the measurements and get those out of the way. Now, the case size on this is going to be 39 millimeters in diameter, which is basically the perfect size watch for most people. It's going to fit most wrists. Now, the thickness of this watch is going to be 13 millimeters. You see Sovrygn right there on the side. And the lug to lug is going to be 47. So it's actually going to fit quite well on the wrist. You can actually see right now that the lugs don't protrude out very far at all. Now the bracelet on this is going to be a 2-link, both polished and brushed bracelet that tapers from 20 millimeters down to 18. You see there's a butterfly clasp there. Everything is very, very solidly built and locks into place. Then when you close it, you can see the S of the Sovrygn there blends in seamlessly with the rest of the bracelet. Really love the look of this, that both high polished center links as well as the brushed outer links. Now you can see right here they use screw pins, which is nice. That means everything is going to be secure. Now, protecting that beautifully textured white dial is going to be a slightly curved sapphire crystal. It's very, very nice to see. This is not a cheap watch, but it's really nice to see when companies use automatic movements for calendars as well as sapphire crystals. It's going to be great. Now, let's talk about the movement inside real quick. So it has a screw down crown and offers 100 meters of water resistance. So let's go ahead and unscrew the crown and I'll show you how to set the watch. The first position is going to be the date and it's going to be the day of the week. So you can see, spin it forward right there and it changes the day over there off to the 9 o'clock. And then if you go ahead and move it in the opposite direction, which would be clockwise, you can see the date change down just below the 4, between the 4 and the 5. Now, if I go ahead and pull it out into the next position, then you can see right there, it changes the time. You can see it does hack, it does hand wind. And if you look down there just above the 6 o'clock position, you can see that is a 24-hour indicator. Everything is very, very smooth on this watch. And if you look just where the 12 is, that right there is a power reserve gauge. Honestly, this thing offers quite a bit. Now, let's just screw this back in, which it threads very easily, even with gloves on. And let's talk about this push button right here at the 2 o'clock position. That right there, a simple push, and you can see at the 3 o'clock indicator that that is the month of the year. Honestly, very, very beautiful, very, very easy to use, and it's very, very intuitive when setting it. So before we get into the Miyota movement, which we will in just a couple minutes, let's talk about the details of this watch and what I think makes it so special. Now, this watch is in no way a cheap watch. This is over $500 on sale and normally retails for just over $700. I'll leave a link down in the description. Now, you really want to make sure that if you're going to spend that type of money, especially with something with a Miyota movement, you want to make sure that you're getting everything that you deserve, right? All the things are done in all the right places. And this dial is where all the detail is paid. The wonderful texture dial, and we'll get into some close shots in just a minute, is done perfectly. Does have applied indices around the outside, and I don't feel like they clutter up the dial too badly. Like, there are some watches that it's just completely unnecessary and they just don't seem to care. Not necessarily on this watch. I think they put all the right details in all the right places, and it looks like that they were very, very careful while doing it. If you look at the subdials, there is a 3D layering effect as they are recessed into the actual textured dial, and the printing is done magnificently. There is a red chapter ring along the outside, and you can see that everything is printed just the way you'd expect on a watch that costs this price. In fact, I would expect this watch to be just a little bit more, but honestly, I think just over $500 on sale is a bargain for this watch. One of the things that I really love about the details of this watch is the case. I love the case shape. I love the extreme hard lines of it, but then also the soft features of like the center link where it gives it more of a soft note. I love the horizontal brushing along the case that mixes in with the high polish of the bezel as well as that center link. I love just the lines of this watch. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I love the case shape, and I love the fact that they just paid really great attention to the detail of this watch. And as we get closer into the dial, you can see what I mean by details of the watch. They did a very, very good job on the texturing of the watch. I said prior they did a really good job on the printing, and you really get an idea up close of just how aligned everything is. There are no imperfections that I could see on the dial at any of the macro shots. The hands are done extremely well. The indices are applied perfectly. The chapter ring is printed perfectly. Everything is done extremely well. The quality control on this watch is very, very high indeed. I love the layout of the subdials as well, with the months again at the 3 o'clock and then the days of the week at the 9 o'clock. I think it's done very well. Now, to flip the watch over, it does have a screw down case back, again 100 meters of water resistance, and you can see that Miyota through a clear window on the case back. Now, the Miyota itself is a caliber 9100, 26 jewel, 28,800 vibrations per hour automatic movement. It's very, very rare to see an automatic calendar watch at this price range. Most are going to be mecha quartz, and I say that because I've bought a lot of watches and most are not automatic. If they're in the calendar range of around $500, most are going to be that mecha quartz just because it's cheaper for the company to do. And this is the watch on my 7¼ inch wrist. Really love the color of that rose gold. It just looks amazing, and with that white dial, it also looks amazing. Now, one of the things that I really did notice is that the bracelet, because the links are actually like screw pin and it has that butterfly clasp, that, you know, sometimes those don't fit quite right. I was able to get this to fit just fine, and that small footprint works very well on my wrist. And here it is on the leather strap. There are two variants. You can get the stainless steel strap or the leather strap. This is the leather strap that is also available, and you can see that it does really dress up the watch. However, with that gold look, you know, you can leave it on the bracelet. Now, what do you guys think of the watch? Do you think it is worth the money? Just over $500 right now on the website. Honestly, I think you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. I think the case is done very nicely. I think the bracelet is done very nicely. I would specifically, in my personal opinion, choose the stainless steel bracelet that matches the case over the leather band. I mean, honestly, you're just getting more bang for your buck when it comes to the stainless steel bracelet. You can always replace the band later, or the bracelet with another band or anything else. If you guys are interested in any of those other videos, I have so many videos about changing watch straps and bands and why. But honestly, I think that for what this is, an automatic calendar watch for just over $500, I think you're getting a hell of a deal. Honestly, I think that it did a very good job on the dial. I think that it did a very good job on the case. And I think that you'd be hard pressed to find something better for the price range. Now, if you like videos like this, hit that subscribe button down below. Leave a comment on the content you guys would like to see on this channel. I have so many videos coming up in the future. I have a Matthey Tissot Tiffany blue automatic watch that I will be reviewing next. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure you guys are hitting that notification bell so you can be notified when I drop that next video. Until next time.